Showdown, breakdown, Monday Night Football. It's time. What's up, everyone? Bobbywow is here with me to break down your Monday Night Football showdown. We got the Chiefs at the Jaguars, a weirdly low spread, which is weird, and I'm still trying to get my mind around all that, but a pretty tight game on paper. And we got a lot to break down. We're also coming off, I know I always say this, guys, and I know it's getting repetitive, but we're coming off another monster week at DFS Army. I'll just show this is my screenshot. Full disclosure, I did pretty good. Hit a lot of the super boosters that we put together on the Players Club on Saturday. I saw a lot of people posting similar crushing super boosters. That's what we're doing every Saturday, Bobbywow, as you know.
Yep.
Got to hit those boosters.
This is unbelievable. This stretch is unreal.
It's unlike anything we've ever seen. And here, anyway, but I got to show you another. So a couple of other exciting things. Of course, K-Tel. I want to talk about K-Tel. He's a watcher of this show, a fan, a watcher, a YouTube subscriber, not a member of, not a premium subscriber of DFS Army, but he wrote us in to say thank you. He wanted to send a shout out to Burns. He was watching Tournament Tactics. Burns got him on Montgomery and Sam Darnold, and he was like, I've been watching you guys. I've been chasing this million for years. He almost got there. So K-Tel 35, congrats on that one. Of course, Uppers Ladder owned took a little 25 cent into $3,000 down on FanDuel using the domination station and some Saturday goodness with Jay Moore and Show Me the Money 13, all just destroying the leaderboard. Helmet after helmet, helmet after helmet, Bobbywow. But wait, you know what's my favorite? And Drew Shady, of course. Can't forget Drew Shady, 40K takedown here as well with Darnold. Similar. You see a lot of the core plays in a lot of these lineups, but this one's super unique outside of, this is a really unique lineup. So awesome, awesomely done, Drew Shady. This looks like it could have been an afternoon only. Yeah, that would have been an afternoon only.
100%.
And then Bobbywow. Another one. The Rockman Gotham, 10K winner, 7th place. I'm going to show a few of these. The play action's really hard to win. It's funny. I make fun of the play action all the time. I'm like, that's an unwinnable contest. 30 entry max. I always say it in my videos. Unless you do a top 10. You got to lose and lose and lose in the play action. But then, of course, we got to talk about 4 more mini max tickets for DFS Army members. 4 more, Bobbywow.
This is crazy, man.
It's not 2. It's not 3. It's 4. Another 4 last week. We own this contest. And by the way, one of the reasons why I love showing these screenshots above all else during these shows is to make it clear. We are using the Domination Station Optimizer. We are using the Sim Boost. We're using all the tools that the Domination Station has to offer and taking down giant tournaments. Not one person. Like if you go to another site, you see one guy who was a professional before they ever worked there showing a screenshot. They don't use those tools. They got their own shit. These are regular average Joes competing with DFS pros using the tools that we built here. Mr. Fusion, congrats on a $1,000 ticket off of a penny. Okay. Alu Blitz, 2016. Congratulations on a $1,000 win on a 10-cent entrance using the Domination Station, right? How about Chris Canello 2 weeks in a row and Uppers Lad and tripping up, almost getting there. Oh, shit. Oh, it's a lot of helmets. It's a lot of DFS Army up top there, Bobbywow.
I was going to say, that's my favorite part is 3 of the 4 are brand new people winning the ticket this week. Yeah. After, 4-1 previous week, 5 the week before. It's awesome, man.
Different.
It's going to be a DFS Army party in that pocket contest.
Different people every week using these tools. We do a Domination Station Optimizer setup. You're not getting that anywhere else. We set them up. We're teaching our members how to do it the way that the way I do it. Right?
Yes.
We are not here holding back. Midget Coach, I think he has one already. This is the second one. Chris Canello and Midget Coach each got their second one. And again, more helmets. Oh, look at you, man. Boy. I was so close. But the funny thing is, this $20 paid for all of my 1,400 entries into this.
There you go.
Paid for thousands of them. Why are you guys not here? So there's that. Congrats to all the big winners this weekend. We're going to keep it going for Monday Night Football. Bobbywow, you got to get us on the winners. Counting on you.
Oh man,
It's a lot of pressure.
this is a fun game. I think it's more fun than at first glance. When you see Jags on the screen, you see Chiefs. I think this is going to be a really entertaining matchup.
KGZ got 2 Wildcat tickets too, by the way.
Let's go, Jeezy.
All right. Nice work, everybody. Really, really super excited. I love it when everything hits, and I love it when everybody's going crazy in the Discord. I'm telling you, there's nothing like it on a Sunday night. I had reserved 150 lineups for the showdown last night. I didn't even get to fucking around with them until like 8 o'clock. I had like 15 minutes because I was so overwhelmed by what was happening. I was like, oh my God, look at all these screenshots. This is crazy. Promo code Geek, 10% off DFS Army subscription. What more can I say?
Come on.
Look at this. Ivy Conyers just started using the Dom Station and tied for first in single round tree. Super duped, but a win is a win. Hell yeah, a win is a win. Ivy Conyers. Hell yeah. Congratulations on that. Love it. Appreciate it. Okay, let's get into it. Monday Night Football Showdown. Actually, yeah, I'm not doing the chalk first. Let's take a look at the matchup sheet. What am I doing here, Bobby? I forgot where I'm going with this.
Let's do it.
Let's take a look at the matchup sheet and see who's getting snaps on these teams. But actually, I have a new way to start. Let's go to, where is that image? There it is. I want to show this image first. So let's start here, Bobbywow, and take a little look here. This is DFS Spreadsheets puts this sheet together for us, and it just talks about like how many fantasy points per game on average, above or below average players do against certain teams. So, for example, quarterbacks going up against the Chiefs score almost 4.3 fantasy points fewer than they normally would. It's not a good matchup for the quarterback going up against the Chiefs. Conversely, quarterbacks do very well going up against the Jaguars, scoring almost 5 points above their average expectation. That's what this is telling us. Running backs, similar. Here, yeah. Oh, here's where it matches it up together. Yeah, here's where it matches it up together. So running backs, on average against the Chiefs, score 9.3, or in this matchup, will score 9.3 fewer points than expectation. Effectively, it's a terrible matchup for the running back. It's a terrible matchup for the quarterback against the Chiefs. It's a good matchup, a little bit of a good matchup for running back against the Chiefs. Bad matchup for running backs against the Jaguars, which is interesting. Wide receivers do a little better against the Jaguars, but very terrible against the Chiefs. And that's the big one. Wide receivers, Chiefs are shutting down the pass. All right. Pretty cool. All right. Let's get into the matchups here, and let's start with the Jaguars for tonight. Again, Jaguars are at home facing a very tough defense. Jaguars not that good this year. Trevor Lawrence looked like shit most of the time, but this spread is weirdly close, and it's bothering me, Bobbywow. What do they know?
Yeah, and I think if I've learned anything, it's when I think I feel really confident about a close spread in these games, I'm typically wrong because I see the Chiefs and I want to take the Chiefs, right? We saw this with the Texans a couple weeks ago. There's been a couple of teams here where I've been like, oh, that's a smash. And no, the books always know.
Yeah.
And I think that's true here. I think this is going to be a competitive matchup.
I mean, that's what they're telling us. And the nuts, yes, these are absolutely baked in the projections. It's just an extra visual to help you along the way. Everything, the projection, especially the prop projection, takes everything into account, including weather. You have to pay attention to almost nothing. Except we're trying to figure out multiple standard deviation unit above or below the mean scenarios. The average is factored in. It's baked in. All right. So, starting with the Jaguars, Travis Etienne, 60% snap count. Bajal and LaQuinta Allen. What happened last week that they got LaQuinta Allen in there? I stayed at a LaQuinta Inn at one point.
Yeah, I think he caught a pass. caught a pass, had a couple targets, but it's primarily been ETN. He's been splitting shares with Tootin, but ETN's been kind of like the guy that's been getting the bulk of the work when he's in the game. So, he's been carrying the team largely. And honestly, I think credit where it's due. The Jaguars have been maybe better than expected, despite Trevor Lawrence not being great. I think they have last week's win was pretty impressive. I don't care, Mac. I don't care who it was. Injured Brock Purdy to beat the 49ers in San Francisco. That's a good win.
Yeah. Can't take it away. But yeah, it's been mostly Travis Etienne. I think we can agree with Basil Tootin mixing in a little bit. At tight end for the Jaguars, Brenton Strange, 73% snap count, getting most of the work. Interesting, again, Hunter Long got a bunch of targets last week. What's up with that, Bobbywow?
Caught a touchdown.
Yeah. There's your turds, man.
Both these teams are a little bit bizarre. We often talk about teams that have, two guys or three guys they throw to. Not with these two teams.
You mix it up. They're spreading it around a little bit. Hunter Long getting all those targets last week. That's just a mind blower. Brenton Strange, though, getting plenty of targets as well. At wide receiver, Brian Thomas Jr., they continue to try to get him going. It has not yet come together.
That's one of the main questions of this slate. To BTJ or not to BTJ? It's been ugly to this point, but my goodness, he is going to be a potential play here. So we're gonna have to dig into that one and figure it out.
I have a big question here, but let's get to the wide receiver group, and I have some questions here about this group. So of course, Brian Thomas Jr., Parker Washington seem to be locked in as the starters. Travis Hunter coming in on occasion. Not locked in. That's my question. Travis Hunter kind of playing a role where he's getting about 50%. I don't think that changes week to week, but Hunter's snap share is not as critical because when he's in the game, they throw to him. It's like when he's in the game, watch him. They're probably going to throw to him on this play, right? Yeah. So he kind of gets reasonable volume even without being in there all the time. My question is, I'm assuming De'Ami Brown was injured and out last week, and they played Parker Washington. Like, how much of is De'Ami back and going to be irrelevant here? Is he going to take over for Parker Washington, or is he kind of a WR4 type person?
De'Ami's back, and I do think we need to pay attention to him, primarily because he's insanely cheap. So, I want to say he's like, $2K maybe on DraftKings. So he's a guy, he's going to play. I think he's going to be mixed in here. I don't know that anyone's going to see a significant drop off. I don't think De'Ami's, going to see 100% of the snaps or, anything close to that. But I do think he will be on the field a significant chunk. And, like someone mentioned in the chat, Liam Cohen, he mixes the ball, he spreads the ball around. And now we've got De'Ami, who's kind of like a gadget guy, back into the mix.
I think he replaces Tim Patrick. De'Ami Brown, we probably won't see the snaps for Tim Patrick.
Agreed. That's probably the one guy who saw snaps that won't see them this week.
Do you think that Parker Washington's snap count goes down? He hasn't been used that much.
Yeah, look.
Did I fuck that up? I'm like looking at that sheet. Did I fuck that up? All right. Forget what I said at the beginning. I should have studied it a little closer. I saw the screenshot.
Yeah, we need a gummy sheet next time. Yeah. Look, Parker Washington, he's been involved a little bit, but again, like this is a mix and match guy in your lineups. He's not. I don't think he's going to see 86% of the snaps this week, but I do think that you have to pay attention if you're playing tournaments, especially if you're doing 20 plus lineups. Yeah,
Parker. All right, let's shift gear to the Chiefs offense. Chiefs offense is getting weird right now. I don't know. So do we know the health of Xavier Worthy at this moment? I heard
from what it sounds like precautionary was the word I'm hearing. Precautionary. I think Schefter said he's going to play tonight. Is more of a precautionary thing. So I think at least as of now, we have to build as if Worthy's a full go. And he jumped right back into the fire last week. I don't know, with 8 targets, I think, first game back. So if he's playing, he's going to be a full go.
All right, that's fair enough. It looks like if we look at the snap counts from last week, that Juju Smith-Schuster continues to just be rolled out there all the time in the slot. They had Marquise Brown and Xavier Worthy on the outside. Both of them were used. And then Tyquan Thornton kind of mixing in as that WR4. That was the only kind of people that were used. A little bit of turd snaps for Jalen Royals. That sound about right?
For the rookie?
Yeah. Let's scroll up to tight end. Everything about the Chiefs is you got to really pay close attention.
Yeah, and I think maybe one other thing to call out here is the running back situation.
Yes.
Isaiah Pacheco has yet to do anything to really entrench himself as the RB1 like everyone was hoping. Kareem Hunt has been kind of bland and boring at this point. He's getting, the bulk of the snaps, or the bulk of the rushes, I should say.
I feel like when they're in the red zone, it's Kareem Hunt in there, not even
Pacheco. Kareem.
Yeah.
But I think the most interesting thing is we actually saw Brashard Smith get involved a little bit last week as a pass catcher, which that is something that could change the game if we see something like that happen again tonight. It'll be interesting to see what the Chiefs do, because really unpredictable in the backfield. But Brashard Smith is a legitimate pass catcher. He's a solid option out of the backfield. So the Chiefs continue to incorporate him in that way. He's a guy that we'll want to pay attention to as well.
Listen, the Jerick McKinnon role on this team is a lucrative role when you get it.
Yes, it is.
And it's the same damn offense. It's the same offense. It's the Jerick McKinnon role, the third down. It's very lucrative here. It'll pop for big scores on occasion. So Brash Smith, he has a real chance to pop. And like, he's the kind of, I think the least good of them is probably Pacheco, Bobbywow. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't know that I would say any of them are good, which is why we're seeing Smith get involved, because at this point, what do you have to lose? It's been a really, really ugly running game for Kansas City to this point. And
I'm going to give you my basic take on this game before we go over to the exposure. I just want to give you my thoughts on the game initially, which is the fucking Jaguars suck. Trevor Lawrence sucks. He's not an NFL quarterback. He's been shit for 5 years. It's not like he's not playing good here or there. Now he's got Liam Cohen, and he still looked terrible. Now, with that being said, is it plausible that it's taking him a minute to get comfortable in the new offense? And maybe so basically coming into the season, Bobby, because I'm going back to my thoughts preseason, which was if Liam Cohen cannot fix Trevor Lawrence, then he's unfixable. It's that he sucks, right? So we watched Baker Mayfield go from shitty team to shitty team, not looking that great or only having moments of greatness. And then he goes to Tampa with Liam Cohen. And now he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, like probably top 6, 7. Like if I was playing tomorrow, he's in that group of players just outside of, Mahomes and the elite crew. He's in the second tier that I'm really excited to have as my starter. That's Baker. Trevor Lawrence is not there, right? He has not had the turnaround. I think he might suck. And the problem is Chiefs defense is where it's like players who suck, they do well against the Panthers. Maybe San Francisco without a, no Joey Bosa, whatever. But what they don't do good against is elite defenses. And now I'm trying to contrast that with the fact that it's a road game for the Chiefs, and teams play better at home. I don't know. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, I feel you. I don't know that Trevor Lawrence has sucked. I think he hasn't lived up to the expectations this season for sure. I do think part of that is kind of this transition period with Liam Cohen. And I also think part of that is his number one receiver has done nothing to help him whatsoever. Like look at the other guys he's throwing to here. De'Ami Brown, Hunter Long, Parker Washington. They're fine, but his playmaker isn't making plays. And that makes a big difference too. So the numbers haven't been gaudy for Lawrence. That's for sure.
There are some underlying numbers for Lawrence as well that are very disturbing. Like he has the highest rate. His rate of throwing to his top target is the highest in the NFL for the last 5 years, meaning we make fun of Justin Fields for locking in on one guy.
For sure.
He's higher than Justin Fields. Like, he's worse than Justin Fields in terms of locking on to the primary target. And he's done it for his whole career. I don't know why. I don't understand how that's not coachable.
Well, I think it is. He's being kind of forced here because his number one target has been awful. So I think we are kind of seeing the evolution of that in Liam Cohen's offense. Now, I agree with you. Trevor Lawrence has not been great. We talk about long leashes. There's no one that's had a longer leash than Trevor Lawrence in terms of just mediocre to poor play and still having the reins of the offense.
Wait,
I don't know.
Stop right there. Let me ask you a question. You're starting a franchise tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
I'm giving you a choice between Sam Darnold and Trevor Lawrence. Who are you taking?
Trevor Lawrence.
You're taking Lawrence. All right.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I agree. I'm not sure,
it's fine.
I tried to get like a level guy.
Options.
Somebody mentioned Darnold. I tried to get it like that, but you had to think. At worst, you had to think. You're kind of like, I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I feel you 100%. You're right about Trevor Lawrence.
Let me put it like this. How confident are you in that Trevor Lawrence pick over?
None. I'm not confident in either of those guys. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I took it there. Sorry.
The other thing is he just hasn't been running the football. That was kind of one of the big perks with him is, okay, maybe you're going to get some rushing upside from Lawrence. He hasn't really done much of that at all this season. So that's the other kind of hit with T-Law that you get here.
Yeah. When he used to run a little bit, he used to actually be fantasy productive. But I physically cannot remember a game when Trevor Lawrence put up a monster score that didn't involve him running for a touchdown during the game. Like any of those 26, if you go back and look at his career and you look for the 25 plus scores, and again, I did not look this up. I could be totally wrong, but I have a memory of it because I've had this guy on so many dynasty teams for so long. Like when he pops for that, he almost always has a rushing touchdown mixed in, and it's not frequent that he's popping for that. You think, I think that the chat thinks that maybe because he was so good looking that he dazzled like the scouts into thinking that he was this generational prospect, but it turned out he wasn't that great. He's just a good looking guy. Could it be? I don't know.
Get out of here.
Listen,
oh man,
you don't know psychology, man. Good looking people, they get advantages in life. They do. Those fucks. All right. Where's my advantages?
That's a backup quarterback that looks like actual real life Gaston, and he's a backup. So I don't get out of here with that
guy
garbage.
shouldn't even be in the league. He's only a backup.
There you go. Okay.
Like that guy's even terribler. Like, why is he on a team? He's getting $3 million a year to stand on the sideline and look good.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Who's the good looking backup?
Oh man.
All right. You hear Mark Sanchez, another guy, went out and Mark Sanchez out this weekend, beating people up over nonsense, getting into fights.
He's facing a felony charge now.
I'm trying to understand, if you're trying to be a tough person, why would you put that hairband thingy in your hair? Like, those two things don't go. Like, if you're wearing a hairband, you shouldn't be getting into fights.
Drugs and alcohol do bad things to your brains.
Doesn't go together. Remember the hairband thing he used to wear? Like the girl band thingy that he would wear?
Of course I do, yes.
That's not somebody who gets into a fight that wears that. Somebody who wears that, doesn't even drink beer. They drink freaking Zima with the pinky up. What the hell? Yeah. Zima. Drink seltzers. All right, let's get into this breakdown.
Imagine living with that butt fumble. Kid's got to be.
I'd be angry. Brain. Yeah, you know what? That's what it is. It's anger. Just over being known as the butt fumble. He wanted to switch it up. Now he's known as like the picks fights with random, normies at a bar guy.
Old people. Yeah.
Mahomes, 26% captain. We got Worthy at 15. T-Law. What? T-Law at 12%. Travis Etienne, 9%. Brian Thomas Jr., a lowly 6.7. This is where I want to go. Got Brian Thomas Jr., Kelsey, and then Hollywood Brown, and so on and so forth.
This is such an advantage to see the props projection on a slate like this, because I want to maybe click over to flex so it makes a little more sense here. But let's just take a quick look at the props projections. Number one, Patrick Mahomes is far and away the top prop projection. It's not close. Like, I know he's priced up the most, but it's not close, man. Like, he is clearly the top projection.
By the way, the only projection, or one of the very few, where his number is higher than the modeled number, which
kind of sucks because he's the chalkiest chalk on the planet, and we hate playing Mahomes captain. But the props make a good case for him here, and I think even like with some of these other guys, like Trevor Lawrence, he's second most expensive, but second highest prop projection again by 2 full points. It looks like. Where was ETN? ETN was the one that was intriguing because everyone's really excited about him. But look at that prop projection. Look at that fantasy points per dollar value. Really, really awful.
It's not good at all. And 9,800 for T-Law, for ETN. And then you have Brian Thomas Jr., who has done nothing this year. But it's week 5. This is the time when that turns around. Like, isn't week 5 when it turns around?
It's got to be. It's got to be. He's too good to be this bad. Would you agree with that? Like, there's some guys that, have flashes during a season, then they kind of fall off, and you're like, okay, that makes sense. Brian Thomas Jr., he was such an animal last season. It's impossible. To me, I can't for a second believe that was a fluke. He's going to be back at some point. Against the Chiefs, I don't know. This is a tough matchup. But look, he's a good player. He's a good football player. Would you agree?
I think so. I think he's a good player. I don't think we misjudged the talent. I do think that maybe the big year got to his head a little bit.
Maybe.
Sometimes
he's got the yips too now.
Yeah, well, that's why I think I haven't made a full analysis on him. Normally I just have not been able to watch a Jaguars game start to finish this year yet. It's just, I'm watching highlights, but I haven't really gotten to watch one of these games in full like I will tonight. But I have, I always have theories about this, but my theory with Brian Thomas is success, get a big head in the offseason, get a little full of yourself, come back, your head's not in it. He's dropping passes. I don't know who to blame between him and Trevor Lawrence. That's part of the problem because it's just really hard to know which one, where it's going wrong. But something's going wrong here. I mean, Brian Thomas Jr. he was being argued ahead of Puka in pre-draft discussions. Like, people, now, when it didn't go that crazy, I didn't, certainly, but there were people who were taking him ahead of Puka in round 1. That's how excited people were for this guy. And he's done nothing. So it's time for that to turn around. I don't know if this is the team to turn it around against.
Right. Yeah.
This is a tough matchup. But again, the tight spread has me wondering what the hell's going on. Because to me, I think the Chiefs should be like a 7-point favorite. So it's bizarre. So of the secondary options here, so Mahomes and Lawrence, let's start there. If you're captaining Mahomes or Lawrence, with Mahomes, is it a stack with 2 force, including maybe like Smith, the running back, the bonus back?
Maybe. I don't know. I'm always weary about stacking Mahomes with 2 because he could literally throw 4 touchdown passes to 4 different guys. And 2 of them, it could be their only catch of the game. Like,
I kind of want 2 of those guys, though. I don't know.
I probably, naturally, I think I'll sim boost it for sure. When Patty Mahomes is captain, I'll sim boost wide receiver and tight end. I think that'll probably get me there most of the time, but I'm not gonna force it because Mahomes could run one in too. We've seen him run a couple in.
Yeah. Trevor Lawrence, same. Yeah,
similar
he's got
story.
The YOLOs right, Bashard and Tyquan.
Yep.
Trevor Lawrence with 2.
Sim boost for me because he could throw it to any running back even. ETN could catch a touchdown pass. Tootin could catch a touchdown pass. So it's just, yeah, I'll sim boost it.
I think JT is probably right about Brian Thomas Jr., but I hope not. I hope not for like my fantasy football exposures. I wouldn't mind him turning it around.
Yes and no, because like Brian Thomas Jr. has had some god awful drops. It's not that Trevor Lawrence just isn't hitting him. Yeah, sure, that's part of it, maybe, but he's dropping the football, like dropping passes that are right to him. He's got the Marvin Harrison yips. It feels like
but this player that'll turn around if he gets his head right. I mean, you saw Marvin Harrison.
Saw MHJ turning things around a little bit.
Yeah, it's like somebody just got to go up to you, smack you in the side of the head, and go, "Wake the fuck up, bro! This ain't you."
He needs a good cry. He needs a good cry, just like MHJ had. He needs his dad to call him up.
He needs MHJ's dad to call him.
Yeah.
Like if Marvin Harrison Sr. called Brian Thomas Jr., that would snap him right out of it.
Maybe we solved it.
That's what my joke was. Marvin Harrison Jr. is who we thought Quentin Johnston was, but maybe Brian Thomas Jr. is who we thought Quentin Johnston was. No, I don't think so. I think he's a good man.
No.
All right, so let's get into some of these secondary options here. First of all, Travis Kelce. I mean,
God,
what do you do with Kelce?
Is there a more frustrating player?
No.
Did you see him? I don't know. Maybe I just saw 2 seconds of it. I'm judging it wrong. Did you see him and like Andy Reid getting into it the other week? He's just not helping the football team very much. It seems like Kelce.
He's always right there. I mean, it's not like he's okay. He's always right there, but he's just not doing anything right now. Far from useful.
Yeah, those are Brenton Strange numbers. I would, 5 for 5 or 4 for 7.
Yeah, he's not doing Kelce things. That's for sure.
It's not Travis Kelce numbers.
Yeah, he's not doing Kelce things. Harry Butker, fine. Juju Smith-Schuster, another one. He's out there a lot. Has he given us much to get excited about?
He scored last week. Yeah. He's not putting up big points, but at 4,800, 13.6, a pretty solid score.
Yeah. And then we have Cam Little, Brenton Strange. Brenton Strange's been pretty damn good, actually.
Solid.
Yeah, this guy's definitely got to be in the mix.
He may be the best value on the slate to me. 10, 12 points.
Trevor Lawrence, I'll go back to my Trevor Lawrence thoughts, but one thing he did always do well, and this has been he's always been good at hitting the tight end. Like Evan Ingram was with the Jaguars for the last few years, and there were games where he'd have 12 receptions, 10 monster scores. Yeah, Evan Ingram
got paid because of his seasons with Jacksonville.
Yeah, and he was terrible with the Giants, and he's a dropper. He got good with the Jaguars, put up big numbers. So
I think it's the Giants, man. Even Darren Waller, right? Remember Darren Waller with the Giants? How bad he got?
Yeah,
Lord have mercy.
That was terrible.
Now he's a beast again, apparently.
Yeah.
But no, I love Strange. I think the kickers too. This is a quintessential kicker game to me. A Chiefs defense kind of bend don't break. Trevor Lawrence struggling to punch the ball in the end zone with ETN. I like the kickers on both sides here.
Is it kicker captainable?
I think it is. I don't love it, but I do think it is. Just look at how uninspiring the captain options are up top.
They are not exciting.
Mahomes is the most exciting.
Mahomes, it's hard to see him underscoring a kicker.
Right, but he's, double the price, 2.2 times the price. That's the thing.
That's fair. Turd zone. This is not even a turd. I don't think Hollywood Brown. He's actually
De'Ami Brown. De'Ami Brown's the turd of the slate.
De'Ami Brown at 2K.
Yes.
Yeah, if he's going to be out there and healthy.
He's going to be out there and healthy.
I like that. Shout out to DFS Up North. Was heavy on Curtis Samuel in yesterday's slate.
That guy, man, the way he thinks, he's such a beast.
Yeah, shout out.
Look at De'Ami Brown's prop projection. He's at 7 points. He's at 2K. You're not going to find anything close to that.
Yeah, it's far and away the best anywhere near this price point. So this is going to be
if you want to punt to captain, that's your punt to captain.
That's quite a punt.
But that's you wanting to fit in Mahomes, Lawrence, BTJ.
What about yeah, I like the Diami play at 2K, definitely. He's going to get some ownership, but I would say rightfully. Hollywood Brown I still like. I still have this belief that he's going to pop for a big game.
He just, oh man.
He's a little expensive for his role.
A little spendy. You got Xavier Worthy back in the mix. Juju Smith getting more snaps. It's just weird, man. The Chiefs, it just doesn't make sense to me.
Kareem Hunt, 4,200 touchdown score against a very good Jaguars run defense. That's one thing they've been doing well.
Are you limiting? Are you going to make a rule no more than one Chiefs running back?
I don't think Pacheco and Hunt can come into play in the same game, but I would leave Bashard Smith out of that.
Okay.
He's just a different role.
Yeah.
But yes, I do think I would avoid. I just think I'm going to avoid Pacheco. I don't know that I need to have any exposure to Pacheco. Pacheco's prop is lower than Kareem Hunt's, and he's $2,000 more. Pacheco's just not doing it anymore. He's not getting it
even
done.
Kareem's prop is so disgusting compared to his raw projection. That's just, oh my gosh. But yeah, you're right. Pacheco even worse at 2K more.
Lower. Flip side, Travis Hunter, I think, has some real upside if he just catches like a certain pass. I like Travis Hunter. I think even though he's not going to be out there for a million snaps, I think he can get, 6 targets, 4 targets, 4 or 5 targets, and that could be enough at that price.
Yep.
Scroll down. All right, let's get into the turd zone here. Kind of turd names that we may or may not need in order to afford putting our lineups together. Noah Gray is always like a Noah Gray is always a threat.
He's gonna get in the game. He's playing almost as much as Kelsey at this point. But he's long shot. Tyquan Thornton.
Not much ownership there.
No.
Tyquan Thornton, I think, is overpriced for his turdly role.
He is, but could still catch a deep bomb.
Yeah. I think if you want Tyquan Thornton exposure effectively, you're going to have to hit forced min on him on the Dom station or just proactively do it. There's no version of running this that is going to give you a 3.8 projection at 5,200. He's priced as if Xavier Worthy was not playing today. They didn't know. They had to price him up, and it's incorrectly priced. So if it works, it's going to have to be forced into your lineup. This will not pop on its own.
Yeah.
Another guy we discussed before that's just kind of an interesting turd here at no ownership was Hunter Long. No ownership, Bobbywow.
No ownership. Again, with Diami at 2K, it's tough to make a compelling case for Long, but he did score the touchdown last week. He's been getting some targets. So yeah, he should be in your pool.
Yeah. I think I would say, I greatly prefer Diami, but at the same time, massively. But Diami's a 20% owned player. This is a 1% owned player. If he scores the touchdown, you win the tournament. Diami is just a part of your mix, and you have him and everybody else does. So I'd say the difference with him is just that if this guy scores at 1% owned, you're winning the whole thing.
Feels kind of like backup tight ends here are really intriguing, like MME pivots if you're looking to pay down for a turd. Right, because you got Diami, but then you got Noah Gray and then Hunter Long as kind of like the backup tight ends that could do something here. We've seen them do things this season already.
Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and say that like Nick Remeggio, Robert Tonyan, Jalen Royals. I mean, these are really, really thin turds to the point where Johnny Munt, couple of shares if you're the type of player that likes to get that crazy with your turds, right? There's no real reason to play these guys other than, a miracle happening.
Yeah.
La Quinta, I think, same thing, but at least La Quinta is $400.
Exactly. Yeah. If I'm punting, super punting, it's probably with your La Quinta Inn pick there.
Yeah. Or Hunter Long, because I don't think you need to be, these $240 guys are really not there. Jalen Royals is the only one that's kind of used. We'll see if he's dressing. Like, I don't know. We'll see if he's out, he's out. But
I mean, Worthy played last week, and Royals saw some field time, so yeah. I think he'll probably dress.
Yeah, nothing changed. And again, Hunter Long. What do we say about Trevor Lawrence? He does like to throw to the tight end.
Yeah, the thing we go back to, though, is as we start building a lineup, there's just not a ton of sexy pay-ups either. So it's not like you're starving for salary. You're not trying to cram Brian Thomas and Travis Etienne and Trevor Lawrence in your lineups. So
chalk or top optimal as of right now leaves almost 1,100. It leaves 1,100 on the table. Mahomes, captain, Trevor Lawrence, Worthy.
There's your kickers.
Yeah, kickers. Now, this is not a true form number because the kicker gets a higher projection. You have to lower the projection for the kickers, but it would be double kicker and then Brenton Strange in the last. I get that, though. I like Brenton Strange there.
That to me is kind of your cash lineup almost.
It's pretty cashy. Let's see if we were doing it. I don't know if I would. Do we throw Mahomes up top in cash?
How could you not with that ownership and prop projection? I mean,
that lineup did not have Travis Etienne in it.
See, to me, I would go Etienne, and I might go Kelsey. Although he's been so bad, maybe not Kelsey.
I'm not playing Kelsey. Hell no.
You going Worthy? So you're going Worthy. I mean,
yeah, I think Worthy is better than Kelsey, or none of it. Who's that guy that was cheaper? I want Brenton Strange.
Definitely Strange. I think you want a kicker.
Nothing better than getting a little Strange. I'm waiting for your reaction.
You're not going to get it.
Damn.
This is what I'm saying. This is not a sexy pay-up slate. De'Ami Brown was the one that you probably want some shares of.
Yeah, De'Ami. You're playing De'Ami. Hope for the miracle, and then I'm leaving salary over here. Go T-Law, Worthy, Brian Thomas Jr. So even in this version, without going all the way down to De'Ami, like Bash Smith and whoever you want, like it's De'Ami. You can kind of like do a lot here. Go BTJ or T-Law to close this out.
Yeah, I'd much rather get Worthy in there over like. That's why I don't think you got to pay down, because no, you need one of those ETN or Lawrence, I think, in your cash lineup. Yeah. I would go there, and then I would probably get Bash Smith up to the other kicker, or
which is the
lineup,
the Dom Station optimal anyway. So
although it had Lawrence over ETN, so that's a little different.
Yeah, something along those lines. Just side note, AJ Barner came through for me in my NFFC lineup. I'm in this kind of big tournament. I'm doing well in it, and I have Brock Bowers. So I got the last minute notification that Bowers was not going to be starting. And in that league, you can't pick players up on Sunday. Once Thursday passes or Saturday, you're done.
Holy cow.
Luckily, Barner's just hanging out on my bench because there was a Q tag on Bowers like from before that I was just nervous about. Slide him in there expecting a 0. The double tutty. Yeah, it was glorious.
What a stud, man. That's the second time this season he's popped off a little bit.
Yeah, just a lucky one.
People are talking about Kelsey. Look, I think this is the prime opportunity. If you're looking to get leverage on guys like Kelsey and Brian Thomas Jr., that's where your eyes should go. Like, that's where my eyes went right away is, holy crap, if you look at captain ownership, BTJ is at 5% or 6%. Travis Kelce's at 5%. Like, nothing on paper points to them. Oh, my gosh.
Wait. Where is it? Look who's in the hezzy. Where is he? Gosh, damn it. Of course, I can't find it. Where is this screenshot?
A couple more.
There he is.
Hey,
KTEL 35 in the house. What's up, my man? Congratulations. You went with Barner. I mean, 2 points away from $1 million is crazy, but you know what? That is a glorious win.
Beautiful. Yeah, don't second guess it. Don't second guess that.
That's glorious. Well done, my man. This is what I'm talking about, John Marquez. $330 pregame arbing in Florida. That's another one. Sharp.app. Promo code Geek. You get a free week of the arbitrage tool to see how you can make money like John Marchese, even in states that don't have a ton of sports books, like Florida. I love hearing this, John. And this is what we're doing, man. We're trying to set you up with things that make money for you. We're having fun. Like we're doing our gambling. We all acknowledge it. We have our vices, but let's do these vices in the least degenerate way possible, which means taking in money instead of having it go out, at least sometimes. At least sometimes.
Indulge your vices responsibly.
Yeah, and know when to say when. You got to know when to say when. All right. Congrats to RRNR Investments, of course, aka 100K winner. We appreciate you. And if we had anything to do with helping you to that awesome win, that's glorious. But it is all you. You push the buttons. You put the money in. You made it happen. So congratulations. Awesome. And as far as John Marchese and using Sharp, I love hearing that. I love hearing that using the ARB tool. I'm telling you, it's a money printing machine. If I showed you my picket from this weekend, your eyes would explode. It was a non-stop ARB fest. All day Sunday, all day Saturday. And I'm afraid for NBA. I won't leave the house. It's going to be too much money. I make more money than basically, here's what you can do for a living. You can go and go to Harvard, become an attorney. You get $500 an hour as a Harvard attorney, one of these big shots, fancy suits. Or you can ARB for $500 an hour and watch the game. It's the world right now, man. AI is coming. Got to adapt. All right. FanDuel, Bobbywow. See where I go with it? This is like, it's crazy in here. Right back to FanDuel. MVP spot. Let's take a look here. And no surprise. Most of the ownership is going to go to Mahomes and Trevor Lawrence and ETN. Bobbywow, there's an argument that those should be the only three that you fucks with.
Yeah, there is. There really is an argument. Because even like, Kelsey's not even that cheap.
Dude, Kelsey is not having a turn. I will listen to Taylor Swift albums for 24 hours straight if Kelsey is ever a relevant captain MVP on FanDuel again. I don't.
Luckily for you, there's a new one that just came out.
And so lucky, I kind of like material. I kind of like Taylor.
There you go.
Yeah.
I love
nothing on paper. Relationship troubles.
That's okay. All right. Wow. Nothing on paper points to Kelsey or BTJ. I think, we've made that pretty clear. I do think, though, less so on FanDuel maybe, but if you're a contrarian mind, your eyes go right to that, right? The ownership on both those guys. We've seen them pop before. It's been a long time now. It's been a season. But that's where I'm going in tournaments if I'm trying to get silly. I'm going to BTJ. I'm going to Kelsey. Maybe a little Hunter. Maybe. That's probably where I'm going. No, probably not on FanDuel. We just didn't get a chance to talk about it with DraftKings.
Yeah. Actually, let's go back to. Did we talk about all right? So if it's let's broaden this on DraftKings. 4 captains. You're saying, we love our pass catchers and captains. So maybe a little Kelsey, a little Hunter, a little BTJ.
Yep.
Xavier Worthy for sure.Maybe even throw some Hollywood Brown in there.
There you go.
And kind of mix that in with. Are you willing to full fade at least Travis Etienne or Trevor Lawrence as a captain?
I mean, you probably have to be, right?
I would.
Yeah,
I don't like Trevor.
you better after all the hate
I'm
talk
not
you've
playing.
spewed.
I'm not playing Trevor Etienne as a captain. I'll be wrong.
Trevor Lawrence.
I'm wrong about this a lot, by the way. And okay, I'm just willing to accept the loss when I'm wrong about this stuff. That's why I don't mind it. But I don't want the people who are watching here to send me hate mail. So I'm not sure what you're supposed to do with that if it doesn't work out.
Here's what I will say. I think the smart fade, again, contrarian still, tournament still, but the smart fade is Patrick Mahomes at captain. He's going to be 30% owned on DraftKings. That's the smart fade to me. You can still play Lawrence at, it's 10% project ownership, but the likelihood that someone else pops off is pretty high. At Patty at 30% captain ownership, man, like that, if you want to be smart about fading something to take a tournament down, that to me is the guy to fade. You're not really getting that much by fading Lawrence.
I mean, it's so easy for a wide receiver to pass the 20 points that Lawrence, is capped at. Mahomes can get you to 26, 27, and that's that little, that's a little tougher to get there.
Unless it's a grinding, you get a Kareem Hunt touchdown, Pacheco runs one in, and it's a 20 to 14 game, and all of a sudden you're like, holy crap, why did I play Mahomes at captain? So obviously he's the most likely to get there. Everything points to him, but that's the smart fade if you're looking to be contrarian.
I'm always looking to be contrarian in these. Do you know that last week, I think it was Monday Night Football, or maybe it was the Thursday game, I can't remember at this point. I came in first place in a contest that I 150 maxed, Bobbywow. I think it was with Josh Allen at the quarterback. So was that like last week? I don't remember. It was unfair. And all I know, I still lost money. I lost money in that contest.
You said Josh Allen. If you had Josh Allen, that's why.
No, I came in first. So whatever I did the right thing. I came in first place.
Fine. That's crazy.
But I also lost money. And I'm like, wow, this is not fun. I literally take first place. It was a $3 entry contest. And the first place was only worth $163. It was $10K to first. The split was so intense. And I had second nuts. It didn't help, Bobbywow.
That's gross. I cannot believe you're not all over this. You always talk about how much you faded the QB as a captain, and you hadn't mentioned it once about Mahomes. Like this is the spot, Geek. This is it. You
gotta fade Mahomes at captain. I don't understand, guys. We have a lot of evidence that they've been hitting captain a little bit. That's why I'm a little slow.
Mahomes has too, and he's been hot. So again, I think we need to acknowledge that. Like that, he is the clear play on paper. There's a reason he's 30%, but
Mahomes has been getting there, but I could totally see this game just not being one where either quarterback scores more than 16 fantasy. Like it could, both of these teams might play really good defense tonight. This could be a very slow game. So, and in those type of games, it's that one wide receiver that pops for a few receptions that will outscore the quarterbacks. Yes. I don't think I have to think about. Now we're talking FanDuel, but let's go. We're now back to DraftKings mind for a minute, because on FanDuel you don't need to do that, but in DraftKings mind, I think the sharpest way to attack this contest is exactly that. You never want to play a 30% owned captain, especially not one that's a quarterback, because he's so attached to players who can outscore. So, like the sharpest way would absolutely be to fade Mahomes at the bare minimum as captain.
Yeah. Yep.
Full fade it. And just like if I'm handcrafting, I'm not clicking. I'm definitely not clicking Mahomes as captain. So then when you translate that to how to optimize for it, you just have to force in the other guys. They won't naturally show up.
If you fade the two quarterbacks at captain tonight, it's 50% of field ownership. How insane is that?
The problem
is never that high.
Who the hell wants to? I mean, I'm not going to feel that great having 25% Brian Thomas Jr. at captain, but that's kind of how it will end up. I'm going to have a lot of Worthy. I'm going to have a lot of
Worthy, ETN, BTJ.
Yeah,
you got to have some Kelsey. Throw 5% on kickers.
Kelsey,
give me 5% Diami.
See, that's where it gets too deep for me. But Diami,
if you're running out 150 lineups,
yeah, just a couple of shares.
But yeah, I think that's the way to go, man. I really do.
Hunt is another guy, though. I don't think he's captain worthy. He doesn't get enough work. He can score a touchdown. That makes him a flex play.
He'd
A lot
have
of
to
people
score
love an
twice.
ETN. I'll tell you this. When you talk about ETN, I would say this. The odds on this game, the Vegas lines are 1,000,000% favoring more of a competitive matchup or a low-scoring stink bomb than what I would normally have expected. On the competitive side, I still cannot fathom why are the Chiefs only 3.5-point favorites in this game. It must be because they just don't think either the Chiefs are going to score that much either. It's not so much just muting, like a good defense should mute the Jaguars scoring a little bit, unless they just take a run-heavy, slow game plan. I'm just really trying to grasp it. A lot of
on the
field
road, you're
goals.
looking at what, 6.5 at the end of the day. It feels about right. Because the Chiefs are on the road. They're at Jacksonville.
Yeah, but it's really only 2 now, the home field. So it's like, it's not full 3.
5.5. That's almost, yeah, no, I feel you. I just think
Seems a
that the
little tight.
Jags have been playing competent football. That's the key. They haven't been playing great. Lawrence hasn't been good, but they're playing competent football.
Yeah. McNasty asked the right question. What's the best strat? The stinkier it gets, the more. And by the way, it should go the opposite of that. Coming off a big win on the road, you get back home, it's a disappointment that normally comes from that. But like, what's the best strategy for stink bomb games? It's defenses and kickers heavier than you normally would. Still the quarterback, but it's like a little more defenses and heavy on the kickers. The field goals are what shine. Now, Harry Butker has not been the greatest. Like, that dude is awesome as a field goal kicker, but this year he's been missing some field goals.
And Little's missed some kicks too, but you gotta like the kickers here. This is a good spot.
Yeah. This definitely do not do. There's no version of this game that plays out that the Jaguars defense is going to be the nuts captain. I will tell you right now, don't do that. No. I don't really like Jaguars defense at all here. So kickers, I don't play defenses against Pat Mahomes, Bobbywow. I just don't. That's a thing that I've made a policy in DFS for many years. And
if there's one thing he doesn't do, it's stupid turnovers.
Yeah, there's no turnovers. If it happens, even Josh Allen has a brain fart game last night. Yes. He does that once a year. Like when I was watching that happen, I was going, man, I've seen him do this before. I've seen him do this against the Patriots before. Like I've watched that exact game like last night play out for Josh Allen. You know, when it starts out weird, that he doesn't turn it around. Like those games end like that. We've seen it before. I was actually betting the Patriots when the Bills had the ball driving at the end, plus 3.5. Because I was like, yeah, they're going to fuck this up. And it ended up not needing the 3.5. So it was crazy. That was actually crazy. But because I've seen it before. I've never seen a scenario where Pat Mahomes just comes out and just turnovers.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't happen. No Jaguars defense at captain and probably very little in the flex. Is how I would go. All right, let's actually talk about difference between FanDuel and DraftKings. I'm showing FanDuel right now. So on FanDuel, we do want to favor quarterbacks over wide receivers, pass catchers, and running. We do want to favor running backs a little bit. Is Kareem Hunt relevant on this slate, like as a MVP?
Silly for the Millie. I mean, he's got to run. He's got to run 2 touchdowns in at the end of the day. Really, he's probably not breaking a long run.
He's got to outscore the quarterback pretty much, or at least be around the same for cheaper price.
He's a flex guy, I think, for me.
Yeah. So I mean, is there anybody relevant? I mean, I know you're going to say Kelsey, maybe Kelsey a little bit, but is there anybody really truly relevant beyond Mahomes, Lawrence, and Etienne at captain? At MVP on FanDuel?
The only other guy I might throw a few darts at in deeper tournaments would be BTJ, just because he's bound to break out at some point. I don't think it's here, but if someone could do it, I think it's him.
All right. Let's give a quick sort of fantasy points per dollar value. I mean, there's a lot of value on this. I think Hunt and Hunter at these prices, 7K, that's some serious value. Significantly lower than the kicker price. And I mean, look at the difference in price between Hunter and like a Worthy, half the price.
And you got to go back to Brenton Strange, right? To me, Brenton Strange is the most clear and obvious high floor value on the slate. He's below kicker range, at least on DraftKings. I think he is here too. So I like him a lot. De'Ami Brown, don't like him as much on FanDuel, but still too cheap. It's 6K in the flex.
Does not project. His props are good.
His props are very solid. Yeah. But look at Strange though. Even
Strange way better. I mean, Strange. He's actually strangely priced. Like, what the fuck are they doing?
Well, the price gap on DraftKings is much bigger between those two guys.
Yeah.
FanDuel not so much, but still both solid plays. The one guy we haven't mentioned yet. I just want to say his name really fast. A lot of talk about ETN, and rightfully so. We talked about all three Kansas City running backs, right? We talked about Brashard Smith as the RB3, maybe getting some work. Bajal Tutin is getting some touches in each and every game. If ETN gets hurt or if he has to come out for a breather near the goal line, like it's gonna be Tutin in all likelihood that's gonna see those touches. And on FanDuel, probably not cheap enough, but on DraftKings, he's cheaper than Brashard Smith. He's cheaper than the RB3 for the Chiefs. So I do think you got to take a look or two at Tutin.
That's a really good mention. We didn't talk really, Bajal Tutin, the snap count climbing a little bit. I think he got some carries last week. There have been weeks where he's accelerated, but I think that Bajal Tutin might be used more in a third down / catch-up role kind of situation. So if the Jaguars start to fall behind a little bit, do they bring in Tutin to replace Travis Etienne?
I don't know that we could speculate that necessarily. He's going to get some touches. I think at the end of the day, he's going to get some touches. And just the fact that he's so cheap, he doesn't have to do as much as a backup like, Kareem Hunt or, I'm blanking on Pacheco. Those two guys are priced way up. They're going to see more touches, but Tutin at 2,800 or whatever. I mean, that's crazy cheap for a guy that we know is going to see the field, probably 25% snap share or so. And obviously if ETN gets hurt, that grows significantly. So all I'm saying is if you're running out 150 lineups, make sure you've got some shares of Tutin in there.
He's 5,600 on DraftKings.
That is FanDuel.
On FanDuel. I mean, that is all that, that's as low. That's very inexpensive, but still not as good overall of a play as Brenton Strange.
Definitely not. He's less exciting on FanDuel, but DraftKings, he's cheaper than Brashard Smith. So I think that the discrepancy is worth noting.
Yeah, dude, I think that about covers it.
Yeah, I think we covered everything.
Yeah, we covered everything. We have a nice listen. Tonight's slate, everybody. There's a lot of turds to keep track of. It's the Chiefs. They spread the football around a little bit. It's the Jaguars who are now spreading the football around a little bit as well. Chiefs defense, very, very good, but on the road. Jaguars quarterback, not very good, but overall team has been running the football successfully. So I think that's what they'll try to do. I don't know that they'll have success at it. Bobbywow, my take on this game was kind of a gross game. I feel like you're on board, but I want you to give you think the game kind of a stink bomb.
I think it's competitive. I think it's a competitive football game. I don't know that we see a lot of turnovers, but I think we see some sustained drives with people settling for field goals. So I don't know, it'll be a stinker as much as it'll be just a competitive, kind of grinding.
Yeah, more game. Defensive, grindy, slow moving, no fast scores. Not, we're not going to see the 35-31.
That would be a shocker.
Yeah, I agree. All right, guys. Reminder again, you saw all the wins at the Open. I don't want to go through it again. DFS Army members, regular Joes, just like you guys, using the domination station, taking down tournaments on the regular, pocket minis galore. You got to be part of the pocket mini crew. I've only got 2. Now I think I have 3. And I have 3, but I feel left out. Chris Canello almost caught up to me. Got a couple of people with 2. Bobbywow got 1.
That's right.
Everybody's getting 1. Don't you want 1? Get in here. DFS Army, promo code Geek. And if you want to check out arbitrage betting, EV betting, bet like an advantage better. Put the math in your favor. That's what Sharp app is all about when it comes to sports betting. So check out Sharp app as well. You can use my code Geek. It's a 7-day free trial, which is awesome. You get to check it out. You get to use the arbitrage tool, do some arbs, whatever state you're in, and be like, hey, I like doing this. I like printing cash all day. That's fun. I've done a bunch of live streams, by the way, if anybody are interested in it. I do a bunch of live streams just showing myself arbing in real time. I did one yesterday as well. It's on my Twitter. I put them out there all the time because people don't believe it's real. And I just show you. I'm like, no, I just did that. And I show the tickets. Here, I just did it. There it popped up. This is not hard. I made $50. I made $75. I made $35. That, and in an hour yesterday, Bobbywow, in that stream, I did believe I did actually $300 in an hour. And then, of course, I started screaming about lawyers, how much money they make in an hour, and how I'm making $300 an hour watching sports and gambling.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we got basketball around the corner. That's going to be beautiful for arbing. Can't forget, we got a hockey opening night tomorrow. I might even poke my hockey. Not good for arbing, but no. we got sports galore coming up.
Wait, this is very important. In the Crease, the NHL show for DFS Army starts today. I believe, I don't know exactly. I believe it's at 5 p.m. today here on the DFS Army YouTube channel. You got all the hockey.
I might even poke my head in and say, hey, because I got to learn more from those guys.
Yeah, Bobbywow might pop in. All the hockey goons will be there.
7 p.m. Eastern.
What time?
7 p.m.
7. Oh, there it is. 7 p.m. Eastern, right here on the DFS Army YouTube channel. You got to be subscribed. So if you want to, in the Crease, that is I believe the first one will be a general strategy NHL discussion of the season. I don't really know. I don't really do much hockey, but I know a lot of people that do, and they enjoy it. Right here on the channel, Sean Hoy is going to be in there. Tattoo's going to be in there. Darth Pasta. I can't remember who else is part of that stream, but other people will be in there. Hockey goons. Not a full set of teeth amongst the whole of them. Got to put DFS Up North in the Hockey Goon show too. No? Doesn't he belong in there?
He does. He fits the bill. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think you nailed it. You got the guys right.
Yeah. I am far from the person you ever want to ask about baseball, but we certainly have really sharp DFS Army coaches that know all about that as well. And Razzle's got his pitching video out right here, I'm sure, on the DFS Army YouTube channel as well. Make sure you subscribe to the DFS Army YouTube channel. And if you want to get in there with DFS Army, start attacking these tournaments. You're not in here yet. Promo code Geek, 10% off. Do VIP. You want all sports now. This is not a time to do single sports. You do VIP, you get all the sports, or VIP and props, because the props crew is absolutely crushing as well. They are churning profits month after month. We track everything they do. But DFS Army VIP, 10% off with code Geek. It's only $89.99 a month. That's less than a cup of coffee. Bobbywow.
It's definitely less than a pumpkin spice latte, that's for sure.
How many pumpkin spice lattes can you get for $89.99? What, like a week's worth? Or you can have a whole month of DFS Army. If you gave me a free pumpkin spice latte, I still wouldn't take it. But DFS Army, I would be all about that.
Oh, that was ugly of you. That was ugly.
I would not drink a pumpkin spice latte even for free. Nope. There's no. That was Brady. That wasn't me. All right. Good luck, everybody. Helmets up.
Go Cubs.
Go Bears. Go Jets.
Oof.